Hey, what's up guys? My name's Carter. Out here with the bugs right now. They're partying. A lot of light going on inside. We'll get to that actually very soon. Welcome to this YouTube channel, this new YouTube channel. Yeah, let's go inside. These bugs are a little bit much. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and I just finished setting up this daylight look. 3 lights, plus a prac, and I'm pretty happy with this. I've got the HMI outside going through just a 4x4 frost, so it's not even a big piece of diffusion. Got the lantern in here, on a 60 watt COB, and then a little kicker right here. It's pretty nice. So now that I've set all this up, I gotta make a video. I gotta do something with it. Otherwise, what's the point, right? And that brings me to the purpose of this channel, what we're doing here. Why am I doing this? Why am I uploading something finally after 15 years of professional video production, mostly in an industrial corporate capacity, and but a lot of documentary style shooting as well. And I have never made a serious, like, public-facing YouTube channel. I've had one before where I uploaded, mostly like backpacking trips and little edits that I'd put together of unique things that I went and did and brought a camera along for. And for about the last 10 years, I have made varying degrees of effort on the practice of having a video camera around and using it, not just on the big trips and the big fun things and the sightseeing or whatever, but the day-to-day mundane stuff. It's always the footage that you think you have way more of than you actually do. And when it comes to just documenting your life, documenting your family, you always will wish you had more B-roll of your life. This spring, I have been using more intentional, more professional setups for my day-to-day family, home movie making. That's a whole other video that I'm going to be doing about the conundrum of what camera to bring and in what configuration for whatever it is you're doing. Especially this trying to document your life while you're also living it, whether or not it's for a YouTube channel or for anything public. Shooting footage of your own life, it's something that you want to just have a library of and have it viewable. I have been stacking this footage for the last 10 years, and there's a lot of trash. There's a lot of stuff that just it serves the function of documenting that experience, or it'll serve as a memory for me when my memory has completely failed. I just have a really bad long-term memory. I've come to understand this. So journaling and documenting my life through video has, over the last 5 years especially, taken on a way more significant and profound role in my life. But one role that it has not taken up to this point, strangely enough, is the role of serious creative practice with my tools. I often have sort of just gone with the flow of kind of what I know and what I've, the success I've had, my idea of how legit my stuff looked, just carrying around, a simple stripped down setup. And there's nothing, that can work a lot. But it can work a whole lot better if you are thinking about light and you're thinking about the direction of the light relative to your subject and relative to your camera. And it embarrasses me to think about, to realize, and to talk about how woefully ill-equipped I was from a mental, technical toolbox kind of perspective. I would just, I would just think about framing. And I'm really good at framing. I'm really good at composition. Developed that skill over a long period of time, but there's like priorities, right? There's filling the frame, versus having context, how wide or how tight, what do you actually photograph, what's inside of the bounds of the frame. Where do you stand? And a lot of times, I would just think about, where do I stand to best see the subject? But what I did not really ever think about was, where do I stand so that I can see the light on the subject in this particular way? And that's a big difference. These are really basic photographic principles, but when you don't study the craft like I really have neglected to do for a long period of my time, I just kind of, I figured out what's functional and what works for the kind of very utilitarian video work that I have been doing for the last 15 years. And I just rolled with that. I didn't really, because, in a lot of cases, these really creative things, they don't serve that function. So I would just do what I did and go with the idea that I was good enough, But that's just, I don't even want to get into how ridiculously absurd that is. Like when you go and throw out and abandon the entire concept of like the continually progressing, the continually evolving beginner's mind kind of perspective. What a tragedy, what a waste that is. And honestly, I could have done a lot more if I had been thinking this way for, all that time. But, whatever, I'm not trying to wallow in the past or whatever, like, oh, I should have, but I'm just really excited because I'm learning so much so fast right now just by looking at something and being like, oh, that's cool. How can I achieve that result? Let me actually try it. Let me actually set up some stuff. Let me actually go outside at this time of day, work with my waveform. Where do I want skin tones to be? Where do I want to expose the image? All of these questions, getting in on a more granular level, figuring out why I would want to do it this way, what this result gives me. It's just really freaking fun, and I'm excited to be learning so much, and I want to apply it to, I want to wrap this whole thing into what I'm doing in a lot of other facets of my life, which is facing the things that I am not good at and working on them, getting better at them, so that I can get somewhere with my life and my career and not just stay in the ruts that I've well established for myself over the past, long period of time, It's a long period of time. And I'm excited to make the next 15 years of my career and my working life, my creative output, a really inspired and exciting one. So that's the purpose of this channel, to have an official outlet for the creative projects I'm doing, the creative ideas, the things I'm learning, whether that's just talking like this and going over some things that, some technical things I'm learning or considering, or some philosophical things, or whatever it may be, or some career related things in the world of being a professional video producer, shooter, cinematographer, with a lowercase c, and editor, which I identify as primarily. That's where I'm trying to focus my efforts. But as I remember fondly from my 2 years when I was in my mid to late 20s, regularly working in the darkroom, shooting 35 millimeter, developing film in the bathroom of my girlfriend's apartment, and then going down to the dark room that was right around the corner and printing. And if you, each one of those three aspects of the cycle motivates you to do all the other ones. I would find that if I'm not printing, I'm not shooting as much. And if I wasn't shooting, I wasn't developing. And if I wasn't developing, there were no new negatives to get excited about in the darkroom. And it's the same thing with shooting and editing and exporting. If you're not doing all three of those things, you sort of lose the motivation. There's no output on the end of it. It's like just jamming on a guitar but never writing a song. It's like it's fun in the moment, but it gets frustrating. How much footage I have shot, good footage, you know, that I've just never done anything with. And I think that talking about, you know, in particular, this whole idea of being like the home filmmaker, the home movie, the serious home movie enthusiast, so to speak, and how that kind of crosses over with the hobbyist as well as the professional working video guy. You know, how do we see things differently? It can be kind of overwhelming when you know all these different options and you know all these different creative things to maximize the image quality and the storytelling and all this stuff, but it also demands more of you because you know all of that. So all these different aspects, all these different fun, interesting things to explore, and now we've got a place to do that. We've got a place to talk about it, and I hope that you'll join me. I hope that this idea is exciting and interesting to you, because I really think that a lot of people could relate to some of the challenges that I'm always working to figure out, as well as the things that I've learned that I've kind of nailed down a pretty good system for, that I can share some tips and some ideas regarding. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.